Hey everyone, Brad here, and today we're pulling out the whiteboard to talk about 8 adventurous goal setting techniques. When I think about goal setting, I like to use the framework of a classic adventure story, which has 3 parts. Usually, the main character starts out by rejecting the status quo. So there's something about their life that is unfulfilling or unsatisfying. That causes them to seek out something, whether it's a result or outcome or higher performance that is currently beyond their grasp. It's tough to do, but it's worth striving for. And then finally, along that journey, they are adapting to and overcoming the obstacles that they're encountering. So this kind of classical adventure framework is exactly how we go about goal setting in our normal lives. So let's jump right in. The first step here at the bottom of the mountain is to choose your adventure. And you want to make sure you're doing so with confidence. The key to this is picking one goal. If you think about New Year's resolutions, most people are usually starting out with, they want to clean up their diet, they want to start exercising, they want to learn a skill, they want to hang out with their friends more, they want to pay more attention to their families. All of these things are just setting them up to kind of fail. They're biting off more than they can chew. So develop all these goals and then pick one. And then the next thing here is to pick the goal that you can complete on a day-to-day basis in as little steps as possible. So let's say you're trying to become more active. You could either go for a 30-minute walk every day, or you could start an exercise program. Let's say you don't have a gym membership, so going for a walk requires putting your shoes on and going out the door. If you decide you wanted to start an exercise program and you don't have any equipment, well, you're going to have to look for a gym, sign up for the gym, pack your gym bag every day. You're going to have to drive there. You're going to have to buy a workout program and learn how to use it or make your own. There's a lot more steps with that second goal where you can go wrong. So that might be the right place for you to start, but think about your mental level as you're beginning and think about what's the smallest number of steps that can help me actually make progress towards my goal. And it might be something as easy as going for a walk for 10 minutes a day. You're trying to create as many successful, accomplished goal days as possible to build self-confidence, build discipline, and actually make progress. So next, we're going to make the journey fun. When so many people think about setting diet and exercise goals, it's immediately not fun. It's a chore we have to do. We're stepping outside of our comfort zone, and we're having to basically treat it like a job. We're having to pile what we want on top of the rest of our day. So instead of thinking of the goal as a chore, how can we make the chore more fun? A good way to do this is to think about the normal aspects of your life that are enjoyable. Do you like hanging out with a certain person or a certain family member? Do you like listening to music or reading or writing? Do you like being outside? Think of the things in your life that are inherently joyful and bring you happiness, and then find out how you can incorporate those things into your new goal. For me personally, exercising outside was a huge one. So for about 2 or 3 years, I was working in a gym on a 3rd floor. So there were windows, and every day I could go out and look and see what was outside, but I was stuck inside this gym situation. And it made my workouts feel like a chore. It made them feel like a job because it's where I worked, and I didn't get many workouts in for that 2-year period. Once I decided to start exercising outside, it became fun. I was motivated. I was looking forward to coming home, changing clothes, getting a couple kettlebells, and spending 20 or 30 minutes out in nature while exerting myself. So whether you're making a playlist of music to listen to while you're doing your task, or listening to an audiobook or podcast, or maybe calling a friend on the phone while you're walking, or hanging out with a workout partner and talking about stuff while you're exercising, all those things are going to make the goal more enjoyable. Next is strike while the iron is hot. This is one I see people fall for a lot. When I'm doing like a client consultation, I might be doing something on a Wednesday, and we get finished talking and they're super excited to start, they're motivated, but they say, well, maybe let's start on a Monday. For some reason, we like starting goals in an orderly manner. We like setting grandiose start dates. So, okay, I want to start things at the beginning of the week where I'll be fresh or whatever. But from that Wednesday to Monday period, you are losing motivation, you're thinking about other things, you're letting life get in the way, and then by the time Monday comes around, all that enthusiasm and motivation is gone. So when you get the idea in your head to form a habit or set a goal, start immediately. What can you do in that day that is even one baby step towards your goal? Again, let's say being active is more of the goal you're searching for, and you have that idea. What could you do right away? Well, that day you could go for a walk for 10 minutes. You could do a couple sets of push-ups or squats. You could go for a run, right? You could even stretch for 5 or 10 minutes. And even though it is a tiny step, and it might not be your well thought out smart goal or something like that, you are still showing yourself and proving to yourself that you can make a goal and then accomplish it, at least one step towards it, in the same day. So to sum it up, don't make grandiose start dates. Don't wait for life to calm down, right? So the holidays, the vacations, don't let those get out of the way. Just start. What can you do in that day, in that moment, during those holidays that gets you a step towards your goal? And then as life calms down or the new week starts, maybe you can up the goal a little bit. So next we have adapting expectations. For some reason, we all like to have an all or nothing approach. So if we can't go out and make what we set out to do, we're not going to do anything at all. This is a big situation with diet especially. So let's say you've eaten over your caloric limit. A lot of people tend to go, oh man, I already blew it. I might as well just keep eating. I'll do whatever. I'll just have fun tonight and then I can start again tomorrow. Or if, let's say, you're working 30 minutes past your normal workout time and you're not going to be able to work out for an hour. Most people just quit and go home. They say, I can't make it for my full workout, so I'll just try again tomorrow. This is not the right way to go about your goals. You need to adapt your goals to the life that's going on. And a big way to do this is to think, what can I do, right? So if you can't make it to the gym for an hour, what can you do? Could you make it to the gym for 30 minutes? Could you go home and do a workout there? Could you go for a walk for 30 minutes? I'm using a lot of the same examples here, but it's all kind of getting back at the same idea of making sure you have a plan B or a plan C. Think about the past few times that you've set a goal and what was your downfall? What kind of kept you from achieving it? And then develop several plans for when that shows up again, right? We're very habitual creatures. So if we're getting tired, if we're intimidated by the work, if we have a lot of unforeseen work circumstances that throw us off our schedule, well, we need to develop plans to deal with that and alternate routes we can go so that we can still achieve our goal that day. Because remember, every step towards your goal is progress. And even if it's something as little as doing a doorway chest stretch, right? If you couldn't make it to your workout, that's still a step in the right direction. So next we're going to talk about focusing on one step at a time. Developing habits takes time. Weight loss takes time. Muscle growth and building strength takes time. That can also be very daunting to people. So it's good to set a goal that's outside of your comfort zone, like committing to a month-long exercise plan, or 6 weeks of running, or 6 weeks of not eating sugar. But once you've set that goal, you need to forget about it and then think of your goal in bite-sized, confident pieces. So if I want to exercise 3 days a week for a month, instead of thinking of an entire month of exercise where every day is a drop in the bucket, think about the next day or two. So I need to get one workout in between the next 2 days. Look at your schedule, fit it in, and get it done. And then look at your schedule again and say, okay, in the next 2 days, I need to create another workout and complete it. So in that way, you're really breaking your big goal down into small bite-sized chunks that aren't intimidating. They are more confident for you to complete. They're easier for you to schedule in and kind of adapt to your shifting day and life. And it makes you more likely to complete it in the long run. So set a goal that's further out, but then figure out how small you need to divide those goals up on a daily basis so that you feel confident in completing it. Next is finding a sidekick. So this one's really important because as humans, we have so many systems built in that reward us for social interaction. We like being held accountable. We like having a partner there with us. So when you're starting to find a sidekick, think about the weaknesses and downfalls of the past times you've tried to complete a goal. So was it low energy? Were you too hard on yourself? Was it intimidating to complete the goal? What were you low on time? Work got in the way? You want to think about your weaknesses and then finding someone who can complement or strengthen those weaknesses. So picking someone that's just as lazy or just as much of a procrastinator as you are is probably not good. You want to find a sidekick or partner that can actually hold you accountable and strengthen those weaknesses. The next thing here is to make sure that you are actually communicating those expectations with your new sidekick. So just asking someone to come work out with you is great and it might work, but letting them know that you need someone to give you tough love or maybe stay positive. You need someone to hold you accountable or someone to commiserate with you or someone to say, no, we're going to the gym every time that you feel like not going. You need to identify these weaknesses and then communicate them with your partner beforehand. All right, we're getting a little rain here, but we're going to keep going. So the next step here is living to fight another day. In other words, pacing yourself. So an exercise program is a perfect example of this. If on day one you are working out so hard that you're lying in a pool of sweat and completely fatigued, your muscles are full of blood, does that make you more likely or less likely to work out the next day? Goals and habits work best when they're done consistently rather than intensely. So you need to pace yourself and perform goals in such a way that they energize you and stimulate you for the next day rather than just drawing from that tank. So when we have stressful lives, we have to deal with families, we have to deal with finances, all of that stuff is taking away from our willpower and it's adding to our stress. If your workouts are also taking away your willpower and adding to your stress, that's obviously going to be something you're going to cut from your life. So you need to make a goal that is positive, energizing, stimulating, and promotes consistency over intensity. And then finally here, we are going to reflect and appreciate. This is potentially the most important aspect to achieving your goal here, because we want to build a good positive feedback loop. We want to set a goal and actually feel the positive effects of completing that goal. We want to build self-discipline and self-confidence. And we do that by reflecting on our completion. So if we don't feel like exercising anyway, and it's not a normal part of our life, we're going to rush through it, and as soon as we're done, we're going to change clothes, get in the car, and get ready for everything else we have to do that day. And the success we just experienced is quickly forgotten and lost in the wave of everything else you have to do. So anytime you complete your goal on a daily basis, you should be spending a couple minutes a day thinking about how that goal has helped you, how that goal is taking a step towards your end result, and how you feel from completing that goal, right? So just the fact that you set a goal and did something and took a step towards it is worth congratulating yourself over. And you want to build that positive feedback and positive reinforcement that comes from you. Thanking yourself for taking the time to do it despite the hard work and everything else you've got going on, and then appreciating how this is going to affect your life in a positive way. What felt good about the task you just completed? How do you feel better about yourself or what you have going on the rest of the day? And then be appreciative of it. Be thankful that you have the resources and time to do it. So think about taking a few seconds to reflect, identify, and be positive with the task you just completed, and you will see big changes in your life. I wrote a longer 3-part blog post about this on my website, adventureathletefit.com, so you guys can go check that out for more information. Otherwise, take some notes, find a goal, and get started, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you think it will be helpful to anyone you know. Thanks for watching.